Hello everybody, good to see you again. Alright, so we're going to be working on some enchantments. I just spent the afternoon working on some sound effects, but they're not finished yet, so I will show you those at another point in time. But yeah, we're going to be adding some new enchants because I think I only have... I should increase the size of this. I think I only have like 4 enchantments. So we're going to add hopefully a couple of more. Oh, I've got 5 enchants. Okay. We'll add a couple more enchants to the pool so that the playtest is a little bit more interesting. The one I want to do first is converting all damage to shield. So I think that'll be very interesting. In anywho, before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for purchase. It's a 2D roguelite shooter developed by yours truly. So if you're interested in this kind of game, you might find it enjoyable, and it would help me out a lot if you purchased it. I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. There's 3 of them, well technically 4, but there's 3 good ones available for purchase that will teach you how to build games in the Godot engine. And the most recent of which is the co-op online multiplayer course. So again, if you're interested, check those out. You'll learn a lot, I'm sure. And all of the support is greatly appreciated. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. So yeah, we're going to be doing some new enchants today. And we'll get into that in just a second. What did I do? Oh. But let's say hello to everybody. Hello, Kusei. Welcome, welcome. Real Cruda, I love bonus streams. Yeah. Welcome back. Late night deving, son of a bee. Yes. Welcome back, Neozoid. Good to see you. Hello, Lincoln Pepper. Good to see you again. Welcome back. Bonus stream with these tariffs. Yeah. Sounds. I like sounds. Welcome, Adam, by the way. Time for game dev once again. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Jackie Daytona. 22 p.m. 22 p.m. What is that? 10 p.m. Have almost got everything fixed. Very nice. Hello, everyone. Long week since I don't join the lives. Today I'm going to watch it while I dev my own game. Awesome. Welcome, Philly Tao. Welcome, welcome. All right. So how are we going to do this? Well, first, we should probably set up an enchant for this. So we're going to do, yeah, turning all damage. So the way I think it's going to work is that anything that ultimately does damage, which is this damage ability. Oh, excuse me. Anything that ultimately does damage, which is this damage ability here, should actually be converted into a shield. I think I have an idea for how to do that, but I'm not sure. I think I have an idea. So let's do this. Base enchant. I don't know if this is going to be a bad idea or not, but let's try it. Public virtual eye ability magnitude. Modify ability magnitude. Just return that out. And then for my enchant here, we'll do convert damage to shield. Do I need this duplicate in every... Okay. Sorry, the cat is begging me for something. Okay. So convert damage to shield. This here. Nope. Converts all damage to shield. And I think... Can I do this? I don't know. To preserve. We'll use the proper terminology for this game. Public override ability magnitude, modify ability magnitude. If ability magnitude is damage, we're going to return new shield damage.getMagnitude. Okay, I think that's the way that I want to do it. Now I have to go to the base card and look at where these abilities are being executed. Get all flattened abilities. Should execute ability. For var enchant in enchants. Oops, what am I doing? Huh? What just happened? Okay. For enchant in enchants for each. What we want to do is we want to say if ability is I ability magnitude, then we're going to do enchant. Do I want to change the ability? On ability executed. Track ability execution. Ability entry data. I don't know what this is. I'm a little bit hesitant about this because I'm logging this ability everywhere, but I have to reassign the ability, I think. On ability executed. What am I doing with this? Let's see. Executed ability. I'm just trying to make sure that it's not comparing any abilities by reference, because if I'm creating a new ability in here, because I'm doing this, ability is equal to enchant.modify ability magnitude, that could potentially create a new ability reference. So if I'm doing any sort of modification to this ability, that would break any direct reference comparisons I'm doing, but I don't think I'm doing that anywhere, so I think I'm good. So I can't modify this. Actually, this is going to be easier if I do this. I'm going to cheat a little bit. Executing ability. And then what I'll do is I'll just say ability for executing ability is equal to ability, and then I can change it down here. I think I can just cast this safely. I think that's okay. So we're literally just going to change. I wonder if I should put this, I should probably put this out here. If executing ability is at a magnitude ability, then we're going to modify the ability magnitude by returning a new, we can just return an ability out here, or we can change the ability magnitude. So that's good. Now I'm wondering if I should use this for my poison. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. Yeah, I almost wonder if I shouldn't do that here. Anyway, maybe we'll fix that later. Cool. Yeah, 10 p.m. Why am I so dark? I don't know how to make me lighter, camera. Hello, Federico. Welcome to the stream. It was very warm today in Scotland. I'm not used to this heat. Yes, it is. Let's see. What is the temperature here? It was like close to 90 degrees yesterday. Do you worry about code encryption when you ship your game? I do not. I do not. Hello, Kusei. Okay. So, maybe I'll replace that modify status later, but lights up the camera, yeah. So I think this will work, maybe. We'll reassign the executing ability here. So basically the ability is going to be changed by this enchant, and then it's going to be executed. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I think this is okay. Wait a minute. I think this is okay. I actually don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Skeleton Warrior 2 dot add enchant new convert damage to shield. Okay, so what I should see now is that the skeleton, anytime it's going to deal damage, is going to apply shield instead. Hit 84 Fahrenheit today. Oh wow, close to 100 Fahrenheit here. Thank God for AC. Yeah, AC. I've had my AC on all summer. Oh, I still have the test cards on. Let's turn that off. Converts all damage to preserve. Very nice. And I still have the test map. Okay, I'll get this right one of these days. All right, let's try it. I did end up adding a run animation to the player as well. Oh, look at that. Just applied 8 shield. So it seems to be working. Oh, that says converts. Oops. So there's a couple of things that I want to do here. I should probably try this on the slime, really, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I want to make sure that this works with more complex abilities. So that's point number 1, and then point number 2 is I need to show the ability explanations from enchantments in the ability description area. So let's see if the slime works. So deal damage equal to 0.5x damage taken since last execution. 3, look at that, it's working correctly. Awesome. My architecture for this game is actually holding up. Imagine that. Okay, so that's working beautifully. That was actually relatively easy to do. But now what I want to do is card inspector. So let's get rid of the slime here. What I want to do now is go to card inspector. This is ability explanations. Explain ability types. For enchantment and base card, get enchantments. Highlight keywords, get explanation. Oh, I can do an explanation in the enchant itself. Oh, this needs to turn into an array of explanations. Get explanations. So I'm gonna have to change that everywhere, but that's okay. Explanation, return, nope. Want to do this. Cool. Because now I have an instance where get explanations, yeah. Actually, I can do this. Explain ability types, yeah. Explain ability types dot union with explanation. And this should be called explanations. Okay. Now I can go to my convert damage to shield. Public override ability explanation get explanations. Shield ability explanations damage. Cool. Oh, I no longer have my enchant, but that's okay. Because now I have to add this here. Loot table dot add item. New convert damage to shield with a rarity of 5. Okay. I'm gonna have to put this back in the skeleton. I keep jumping back and forth. That's okay. Skeleton warrior 2.add enchant. New convert damage to shield. Let me see if there are any errors. Yup. This needs to be an array. Oh, and let's change the text here. Cool. AC isn't common here, so we just cook. Hello, Kazori, welcome. It's been a while not watching your streams. Yeah, glad to have you back. This game is very cool, thank you. Yeah, I think it's working out. Our favorite niche internet eSalab, yep. Yep, I'm here, everybody. Okay. Now we gotta find a combat encounter. Make sure everything... Oh, I was gonna read this. Yeah, so now it's putting preserve and damage here. So that's great. Wow, no combat encounters, huh? So wait, if I put echo on this, it should do the same thing twice. So I should get 16 shield, I think. That card auto moving is so nice. I'm glad I implemented that. All right, let's see if I get 16 shield from this. Oh, he's doing damage. Uh-oh. Why is he dealing damage now? Uh-oh. That's not any good. Now we gotta figure out why that's happening. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Okay, at least I was able to reproduce it. Let's go here. Oh, I know why. So when I have 2 enchants, so because this is an overrideable that by default returns a ability magnitude reference, what's happening is that convert damage to shield is being changed. So I'm getting a new instance of executability, but then immediately after that for echo, this is being called again, which is returning the original ability magnitude. This actually needs to be executing ability here. And I just need to just directly cast this as an I ability magnitude. That's why. I had like a stale reference that the ability was being reassigned to. Use pattern matching. Why? No, I just did that. Okay, I think that's what I need to do. Okay. The little player wobble is cute. Also, you're the only person I really react to on Twitter. Oh, really? That auto card movement is so good, yeah. Yeah, thank you. I think the animation turned out really good, the run animation. Hello, A the Ant, welcome back. And yeah, I think the auto card movement is like super, super good. I do have a bug though that I need to fix, but we're gonna let that go for now. Okay, now I should be applying 16 shield. There we go. Look at that. Just the ways that you can stack different ability. Like I've got Echo, convert all damage to preserve, and deal 8 damage. So that means it's going to convert this 8 damage to shield, and then it's going to do that again. I love it. I'm just building up shield. Hello, Noel. New to the channel. Do you mix GDScript and C# for this project? I do not. No, just C#. Still lurking, Neozoid? Is that sprite animation in my Necromancer grid game? It's animation player animation using a cutout sprite. So it's not a frame by frame animation. It's not a hand drawn animation. Might actually modify the animation. Do you use wave function collapse to randomize your game map? I do not, no. I use wave function collapse to generate the enemy boards, but the random map generation is just a fairly straightforward, you know. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it's fairly straightforward, but it's not using wave function collapse, no. I'll write down a bug here to do. Fire damage dealt to shield shows both shield and fire damage. I gotta figure out how to display this information better, but that's okay. Make player jump higher during walk animation. Now I'm kind of curious. Let me think. Sorry, I'm just thinking about how I want to approach something. Anyway, I think this is working. So, you know, one thing at a time. Just building up all kinds of shield here. Might have to figure out something to do about that, but for now it's okay. Okay. All right, add new enchant. Oh, I do want to remove this. Let's just get rid of anything I did here. I want to see if I can change this poison enchant. What I'm thinking about doing is this. Public override eye ability magnitude. Huh? Using game data ability. If ability magnitude is poison. Poison? Return new poison. Poison dot get magnitude +1. Why doesn't this work? Oh. I think I'm gonna do that right there. And I'm gonna get rid of this modify status. I don't want to do that. I mean, I may want to bring that back in some fashion, but I think this is actually a more elegant solution. Because then I don't need to... It's best if I don't need to actually change the abilities themselves, which is what I had to do with that alternate approach. So if I get rid of this modify status now, get rid of that, now it should just be changing the magnitude directly before it gets applied. The only problem with this approach, though, is that it does return a new poison instance, but I don't think that's going to create any problems. I think I'm working with the code base with the assumption that the abilities could be different because they're duplicated or whatever. So I shouldn't be comparing abilities by reference, and I don't think I'm doing that anywhere. So let's just make sure that this is indeed working. So let me go to my run manager. Project settings, game debug, enable test player cards. We've got the ceremonial dagger, we'll enable test player cards. So now I should have the enchant. On the dagger here, all poison applied is increased by 1. So I'll put that there. Let's go to the combat, and we should see that this is applying 2 poison instead of 1. Nice. Yeah. That's working great. No complaints there. All right, that's much cleaner. That is much cleaner. All right, let's see what other kind of enchantment we can make now. So that's done. I want to do the swarm one. I think that would be fun. Somebody mentioned this on stream a little bit earlier. Swarm. Every card with swarm executes together. This one is going to be a little bit tough, I think, but we're going to figure it out. Anyway, the game looks insane and very polished. Thank you, Kzori. How do you feel about the C# API in Godot? Feels a bit hacky sometimes, and that's missing some love. I think mostly it's okay. There's just some weird things, like callables are a little bit weird in C#. I wish that, yeah, like whenever the Godot API expects a callable for something, I wish that the C# layer just did conversion from like an action or a Lambda function to a callable under the hood for you. So there's a few quirks, but I wouldn't largely say that it's a problem. Because the nice thing about C# is you can build a lot of your own tooling too. So like any of the rough spots that I have with C#, I've smoothed out with my own tooling with extension methods and source generators and stuff, which you could argue is like, you know, a lot of this stuff maybe should come out of the box with the C# support, but anyway, can use lighting effects to enhance the game. I cannot because I'm relying on 8 colors only. So if I have a lighting system that changes the colors to anything that's not one of the 8 colors that I'm using, then I can't do it. I do have a somewhat of a lighting system, but I'm working with that constraint, so I don't think lights will work. The traditional lights won't work. Usually when I'm too lazy to animate pixel movement, I just rotate the whole sprite. Yeah, that works great. KFC to randomize. Are lighting effects hard in Godot? I don't think so, no. Okay, we got 2 atoms in the chat now. Wave function collapse with food prices skyrocketing. I need help. I have VFX manager component inside player scene, and its self-add-child light effect instance is working, but player.add-child light effect instance not. Where is this code happening? Artem, and welcome back to the stream, by the way. Get player basically shorthand for get player group instance. Okay. It seems like it should work, but yeah, in what context is the code being called? That's the question. Lighting isn't hard in Godot, but you must be careful on the theme you're working. Sometimes lighting is much more linear, so it won't look good on full pixel art game, and that's where shader enter. Yeah. Alright, so let's do a swarm enchant now. I have no clue how this is going to work. So we're just going to forge ahead. We're just going to forge ahead. I'm already stuck. No, I'm kidding. Executes all other cards with you know what, I'll just make this an ability description maybe. So we'll do this. Swarm. Ability explanations, let's do this. Public static read-only ability explanation swarm. Title color is equal to game constants dot Blue. Title, swarm, description, executes all other swarm, all the cards with swarm when executed. I don't know if that's a clear enough description, but we'll try that. So now the ability explanations, this is swarm. Get rid of this. Okay. Description utils, let's just go ahead and add this. Okay. All right, now we have to actually figure out how to get this to work. Add card to rerun lifecycle list. This is gonna be difficult. Oh, this is gonna be very difficult. Okay, hold on a second. Do turn tick. I might have to break up this logic some more. This is crazy. Okay. It happens in ready of the VFX manager. Seems like it should be working yet, but I'm looking in mode scene tree and it's not. Is there any errors? If player equals no push warning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think maybe because Kazori is it's because the way the ready function works is that it goes from the children up. So if the VFX manager, let's see, if the VFX manager is inside of the player scene, it may be a problem when you try to fetch the player if the player does not have a group assigned yet. But you said that the player is not null. Is it possible that, are you in a situation where it's possible that player is referring to an old player that has not yet been freed? Because the only thing I can think of, if you're not getting any errors, then what might be happening is you're getting an old version of the player, maybe right before it gets freed. You're adding the light effect to that old player, and then that old player gets freed immediately. And then the new player gets created, and the new player doesn't have the light effect scene. There was no error because the light effect scene was correctly added to an old player, but that old player is now freed. That's, I think, if I had to guess, that's the most likely explanation for why you're seeing no errors, why the player isn't null, and why you're not seeing the light effect scene. But without knowing more about your code, I can't say for sure, but that's my hunch as to what's going on. Especially if this is happening during some sort of like level transition. Then I think that that is a possibility. But let me know if that works. Or if that helps. Yeah, you could definitely set a breakpoint, debug it, and see, since player is not null, like you can look at the player breakpoint. You can put a breakpoint on where the player is assigned, step over it, and then see what node the player variable is actually referencing. But yeah, hopefully that helps, Artem, and feel free to, if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to ask. Nothing else works, close and reopen Godot. That sometimes fixes the weirdest bugs. I don't think it doesn't. Closing and reopening Godot doesn't typically fix runtime bugs, but if you're desperate, you can definitely try that, I guess. All right, well, this is making me a little bit nervous because I'm gonna have to change this core card lifecycle to get this swarm to work, I think. Let's do some very light breaking up here first. What is this card life cycles handled? Decrement turn cooldown. Okay. This is a mess. Okay. On turn tick. Turn tick in here. If base card run life cycle tick. If not, cooldown is finished. Card life cycles handled contains base card. Okay, so this rerun life cycle list. I see. Wow. There's a lot going on here. Now there's a rerun execution list. There's too much going on. I need to unify some of this, I think. Do cooldown tick. Why is this here? I mean, this doesn't even need to be here, so we'll get rid of that. Cooldown tick card. Okay, that makes sense. Wow. Some really weird bugs at runtime have been fixed by closing Godot, for me at least. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, it'd be cool if bug cards like mosquitoes got swarm inherently. That would be cool. Yeah, it would be cool. Hello again, Kusei. There's a lot going on here. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so that if a swarm card executes, it can have all of the other cards execute as well, but without changing their current turn cooldown state. I don't want it to I want them to preserve their turn cooldown so that they can execute as well. So let's say that you've got a swarm card that has a turn cooldown of 2 and a swarm card that has a turn cooldown of 5. What should happen is that after 2 turns, that first swarm should trigger and then trigger the other swarm card. And then another 2 turns later, that card will do the same thing. It will trigger and then trigger the other one. And then 1 turn later, this is the 5 turn cooldown card. That will trigger and then trigger the 2 turn cooldown one. So you kind of get this weird staggered swarm. But basically, I want to preserve whatever timings are on the cards that are being executed. So I need to hook into this. I need to be able to essentially run this execution here. But I need to disentangle everything that's happening. So this turn tick in here, this is called from my turn manager. This creates an execution context. It ticks the artifacts. It ticks the statuses. And then it gets all the cards. And then for each card, it does that card's turn, which runs the lifecycle tick. And the lifecycle tick will not run if the lifecycle has been handled for some reason. I don't know why that's there. I don't understand why this one is here. I have to figure that out still. But anyway. Then it runs the execution, which is the actual, this is where all the abilities are executed. So I think in theory, I could just call this run execution for the swarm, but I'm trying not to make this class any more bloated than it is. I don't know why this card lifecycle is handled is here. I don't know why run lifecycle tick. I think I just found a bug too. Goodness gracious. So what this rerun lifecycle list is for, this is for the speed ability, which decreases the amount of turns a card needs to go through to execute. So what's essentially happening is kind of weird, but so any card that the speed is affecting, we're iterating over all the cards that the speed is affecting, and then the magnitude is how many turns it reduces. So it just does an inner for loop based on the magnitude. And it adds the card multiple times to this rerun lifecycle list. This rerun lifecycle list essentially just reruns the life cycle. But the problem in here is that the speed is actually causing the buffs to be ticked. Do I want that to happen? Oh no. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. Okay, let me do something here. Let's see. Speed can affect cards that have disabling debuffs. Okay. So I need to write that down because that's a bug that I need to fix. But here, this cooldown tick. This is ticking turn debuffs. Oh, this is not even used anywhere. Oh no, maybe it is. That's tick strategy execution. Exhausted debuff. So what speed could do is it could get units out of paralysis. Okay, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. What is the description of... Okay. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Where am I at? Oh no, here. So I think essentially what I need is I need to separate this from this. I still don't know why card life cycles handled needs to be here. Maybe I'll ask the AI. Let's see if the AI is smart enough to answer. Probably not. What is the purpose of card life cycles handled in this class? Purpose is to assure that each card's life cycle, execution of abilities, cooldown, handling is processed only once per turn, preventing duplicate or redundant operations on the same card. Particularly important in scenarios where cards may be added to the rerun list and processed multiple times during a turn. By checking if a card is in card life cycles handled, the class avoids reprocessing cards that have already completed their life cycle, maintaining efficiency and correctness in the turn execution logic. Okay. I don't know why. I see. So what's happening is I do the cooldowns, I do the turn tick. If I can't execute, I run my life cycle tick. Okay. But I don't want to rerun it if it's already been handled. I see. So I think what could happen is if I add the same card 3 times to the rerun lifecycle list, but it only needs 1 cooldown tick to get to its execution point, it would execute here, but then it could execute 2 more times if I don't have that lifecycle tracking. So that makes sense. I kind of wish there was a better way to do that though. See, the cooldown tick is happening first before everything else, but then it has to happen in here too for the rerun lifecycle list. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Rerun execution list. This is just doing run execution. I guess I can just use this rerun execution list. I don't know where this is happening though. Where is this being changed? Add card to rerun execution list. Echo. I mean, I guess I could just do that, right? Although the problem here, okay, there's a couple problems. Shoot, this is going to be very difficult. The problem here is that, no, I guess it will run the execution. So if I have Swarm, so getting back to Swarm, which is what we're trying to do. If Swarm executes outside of its turn, I could create an infinite loop basically. So if I have a swarm, if I have 2 swarm cards, the first swarm executes, it triggers the second one to execute. That one also has swarm, so then it triggers the other one to execute. That one still has swarm, so it triggers, you know, it could be an infinite loop. So I basically only want the swarm to kick in if the card... No, that wouldn't work. I think I would need to track which cards have been executed by Swarm, and just make sure that any card that has been executed by Swarm can't be executed again. Or make sure that the card that is triggering the swarm... I don't know. I have to figure that out. Let's do one step at a time, though. Let's do one step at a time. Okay. Where in the world is this echo enchant even happening? Oh, echo is a card ability. Where's my echo enchant? How is that working? Internal post abilities executed. Okay, there's a lot going on. Guys, there was an error on player add child, my bad. Oh, it's 1 a.m. and Cube, sorry to bother you. That's all right. That's all right. What is this planner that you use? That's Obsidian with the Compound Community plugin. Love the idea. I love the video of the squid. Could you please share the palette? It's called Witching Hour. It's called Witching Hour on low spec. Why don't you use GD script? I just like C#. I like C#. That's it. That's the only reason. All right, so in post ability execute. Okay, so swarm enchant, protected override, internal post abilities executed. Execution context dot source board inventory component dot query. How did I do this? Oh, this is board inventory component. Query new board inventory component dot query options. Custom filter is equal to card dot has enchant. I'm gonna have to add that, but we'll do that later. Var cards is equal to this. Card is not equal to execution context dot base card. I don't know how this is going to work. I really don't. But we're just going to keep marching ahead. Execution context dot turn executor component dot add cards to rerun execution list. Okay. Okay. So, in theory, I should just be able to do this. Public bool has enchantment of type. Okay. Oh, query options for card exclusion set. Do I need the exclusion set? I guess I do. Okay, we can get rid of this then. Okay. So I think I'm pretty confident this is going to work, but it's also going to create an infinite loop. Because what's going to happen is this rerun execution list is going to have cards in it. We're going to go to run execution here. That's going to do execute abilities. That's going to go all the way down here and go to post abilities executed, which is going to call that swarm again and start the process all over. How am I going to avoid that? Interesting. How am I going to avoid that? Interesting. It's 1 a.m. I'm in my bed and I'm watching this. Welcome, Nicholas. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Hope it's nice and relaxing. I hope you're able to fall asleep before I start banging my head against the table in frustration. Add card to rerun life cycle. The problem is I don't have any way of adding some like metadata to the rerun execution list. And maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know. I know that this is going to create an infinite loop, but let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. Your stream is always calm, man, especially the background music. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Ah, son of a bee. Son of a biscuit. It's all right. Okay. So this should have swarm on it. So what I'm probably going to see here, my prediction is that when I go into combat, the first time a skeleton executes, it's going to instantaneously kill the enemy, or it's going to bounce back and forth. It's not going to be instantaneous. So let's just watch. So this is going to bounce back and forth endlessly until the thing dies. Oh, interesting. Why didn't it bounce endlessly? Uh-oh. If my prediction is wrong, that means I don't understand what's going on. That's not good. Whoops. Didn't mean to punch the microphone. That's not good. I don't see any logic in here that would prevent I don't see any logic in here that would prevent that, or that would stop that. Why would that stop? Well, one way to test it is to put this in here. Add card. Oops. Okay, I gotta change that. Rerun execution list. Add card. Oh. I know why it happens. Oh my gosh, this is a mess. I need to... I want to say I need to rework this whole architecture, but I think this is one of those things that's just going to be extremely messy no matter what I do. Because I have a bunch of different like life cycle moments, like turn, tick, buff, tick, running the execution. Then I've got to be able to rerun executions in case of like echo and stuff. But then I want to be able to run the executions without ticking any of the buffs or ticking the turn cooldown. So it's like I got to fragment all this code everywhere. But the reason why this isn't going endlessly is because this rerun execution list wait, maybe it is working. Yeah, so the thing... Oh, this is confusing. So wait a minute. Let me do this. I'm going to change this a little bit. Run manager. This is supremely confusing. It's okay. It's all right. We're going to create a scarab instead so we have a different turn cooldown. I think both of the skeletons were executing at the same time, so that actually made sense the way it worked. The first skeleton executed, did its damage, it triggered swarm, that caused the second skeleton to execute. Then it was the second skeleton's turn, legitimately, so it executed its damage and then triggered the other one to execute. But the reason it's confusing is because they have the same turn cooldown. So if I use different ones, this one's got 8 and this one's got 6, I should be able to see a little bit better what's happening. Yeah. Actually, I think I'm more confused. I actually think I'm more confused. What Git plugin do you use in VS Code? Just yeah, just Git, I think Git Lens? Whatever the most popular one is, I think. I don't want any of these. Get off my screen. All right. I'm supremely confused. So this one executes, that one executes, and then the skeleton executes again. Why is that happening? And why isn't it going endlessly? Why isn't it going endlessly? Oh my gosh, I'm about to lose my mind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is very difficult. Let's put this here. Breakpoint, I gotta change my configuration. Oh, config Godot.net tools. I don't think I need this. Here. I think that's what I need to do. All right, let's see if I can debug now. There we go. There we go. All right, time to find out why the heck this isn't working. Okay, so the cards that it's loading here should just be one card. Yeah. So I don't really need a breakpoint there. Rerun cards. So rerun execution list is what? Scarab. Okay. Rerun execution list is Skeleton Warrior. Now I kind of want to step over this because rerun execution list gets cleared here. It's going to run the execution for the Skeleton Warrior. And it doesn't add another one to the rerun execution list. Why didn't that add anything? Okay, so maybe there is something in here. Swarm enchant. Let's put this in here. Okay, so now it's. Oh wait, this is not the right window. So now it's triggering the Scarab. So this should be Skeleton Warrior. Okay. This should be Scarab. Yep, and then it doesn't run again. Oh, because the thing died. Maybe? Oh, goodness. I'm very confused here. Oh, enchants where X has executed this turn. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's why. There's just a condition in here that's preventing it from executing multiple times. Okay, so that's fine. We still have the problem, though, of I don't want the swarm of other cards to be triggered. I feel like we're very close here. I just need to figure out a way of preventing other cards from triggering their swarm. How am I going to do that? I mean, a larger question could be, do I want to restrict that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Basically what happens is, so the skeleton is going to trigger the scarab. The scarab should not then go and trigger the skeleton. Basically the swarm on the scarab should not re-trigger. Well, since they're all linked, I wonder if I could just do... I don't want to introduce a piece of data that's specifically for tracking swarming, but I might have to do that. In these situations, I like to take a break and maybe have a shower reset. Always helps me when I need to fix code. Back when I was doing Java game dev. Yeah, it's not necessarily... Not exactly stuck at this point. I just don't know what a good way of implementing it is. I know of many ways to implement it, all of which suck, but I'm trying to figure out a nice, clean way to do it. But maybe taking a break is a good idea. But I still want to work, so maybe here's what we'll do. Maybe I will... Let me think. I do want to do some work on cleaning up the turn stuff too, because I think it is probably... It does have room for improvement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit this initial work on swarm enchant. Let me do this. Need to execute swarms no more than once. Otherwise, we'll get into large execution loop. So I'll just make a note of that. That's something that I need to change. In the meantime, we can maybe pick out a piece of art. We can do a new card maybe. I think that would be fun to wind down the stream here. So maybe we'll do another villager card. Just trying to think of what card I would want to draw here. I kind of want to try to draw a lamb, although I feel like that's not going to go well, but I certainly want to try it. Okay, maybe we'll figure it out when I get back. So I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we'll draw some kind of villager card. Maybe we'll also draw a player card, I don't know. Or maybe we'll draw a player card instead. But I'm gravitating towards drawing the lamb. Just need to figure out what kind of ability it should have. I want to give it something interesting. But anyway, oh, you know what I could do? Wait a minute. Yeah, anyway, we'll figure that out when I get back. In any case, I'm going to be right back in 3 minutes and we will continue on. Okay, I'm back. Let's do the lamb. We'll figure out an interesting ability after we draw it. Let's do a lamb. Okay, new file. No, open file. Probably we'll want this to be card background, probably a 2x2. 2x2? Yeah, or I could go beast mode and make it a 3x2. No, we're not gonna do that. Don't show this alert again, skip. Okay, save this. Here we go. This is either gonna turn out real good or real bad. Lamb.asprite. All right, let me get my serious mode on. Art mode engaged. What? I guess I forgot to set my palette as the default. Save palette as a default. Okay. Whew, okay. Here we go. Nope. It would help if I knew what lambs look like. You know what? This might actually be too big. Well, let me just keep drawing and we'll see. I'll scale it down if necessary. Okay. So this is the head. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get pretty good at drawing creatures of the hoofed variety. Real soon. The hardest part about hoofed animals is that they look weird. There's some art advice for you all. Hoofed animals look weird. That rumpus down here might be a little bit too big. Might have to fix that, but that's okay. So obviously the lambs aren't fully as woolly as sheep, but they still need to be woolly a little bit. Well, I mean, they are sheep. You know what I mean. They're not as fully woolly. I guess I did end up using the whole space. So this lamb, don't they have like, they have little ears, right? I'll look up at a reference image in a second just to make sure I'm not way off here, but something like that. So now the question is, how am I going to make it look like it's a little bit furry? A little bit woolly. Okay, before I go any further, sacrificial lamb, not yet. I think we will do one of those, but we're going to do a normal lamb first. Welcome back, Adam, by the way. Great to see you. Oh, doing it laying down would have been cool. Oh, no. Also, isn't that a goat? Maybe not. Yeah, I think my leg is too thick. The back leg is too thick. I guess the ears have to go down too. Maybe I don't really need to make it look furry because the fur is pretty close to the body here. It's definitely not like that, right? So I might not even need to add that detail. I don't think I do. Okay, so we got a number of things to change here. The body probably needs to be thinner actually, so let's do that. Okay, we'll get rid of this stuff that I added. Okay, it's looking thinner already, and then I'm just going to bring this over a little bit. I don't think I want to give it an action pose either. I think it's probably going to be better if I just give it like a little... little knobby leg. That probably works. We'll just fill this out a little bit more so it doesn't look so weird there. Okay, all right. What the heck? Maybe I can do a little bit of a pose back here. Although that's too far forward now, so I need to move this over. I keep doing that. That looks weird. Does this need to be moved over one? Maybe it does. Oh, that looks better. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There we go. Actually, before I do that, That works. Let's redo the ears. Not really going to have any ears on the other side. I mean, it's starting to get there. I think it's looking all right. It certainly looks more like a lamb, right? It's looking good. Since you're making a neutral position, maybe also lower the line on the back, make it more straight. Yeah, I could do that. Let's see. I don't know, I kind of like... I think that looks good. I'm not so sure about this leg here. Why are these creatures so weird? Okay. Let's not worry about that right now. We'll just keep going one thing at a time here. These legs are going to be a problem. These legs are going to be a problem, but let's worry about that later. I think it looks fine except for this leg. Maybe this leg can go over a little bit. I wonder if I just cut this like that. No, that doesn't look great. What if I flip it? Oops. Yeah, this leg is just not looking great, I don't think. Okay, I'm going to revisit this leg later. Let's just put it over here for now. Just put the leg right there for now. We'll figure that out later. Let's try to get the other stuff working. Yes, it is. I don't remember what that's in response to. Oh, that it's looking like a lamb now? I think it's looking like a lamb. What kind of tails do lambs have? Oh, they got little stubby ones. Oh, here we go. That is a perfect pose. I should have seen this one before, but that's okay. Oh, the tail is not correct. All right, maybe the face now. The face is going to be relatively hard, I think. Nope. I don't want to make it look like an anteater. Let's take another look. Okay. So we need to have kind of like a mouth here. Oops. We're not trying to create a demon lamb yet, anyway. Wow. This is super difficult. I still feel like the head maybe isn't quite right. Is that a better head shape? Probably not. Nope. All right, going to sleep for now. Going to dive in headfirst to your C# course tomorrow, so I'm going to need that. All right, good luck, and have a good night. So cute, how dare you try to sacrifice it. It would be cute if I could get its face looking correct. Oh, it's so difficult. I mean, this just looks... just looks bad. Nope. I was having better luck with this. I almost feel like... Man, I can't get this head shape correct. I just can't do it. I think of all the, whoops. Of all the head shapes, though, I think this one is probably... Maybe not. Why is this so hard? Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's try a different perspective here. We'll do the head-on perspective like in that one picture. Although the black eyes are really not doing any favors. Nope, that's not working either. Man, just dud after dud this stream, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I don't think it's bad. I mean, I think this is probably the best thing that I've got so far. I just don't know how to do the... I don't know how to do the face. What am I doing? Oh. I don't know how to do the face. I guess lambs are kind of like that with their face, their curved face here. Is there like a profile view? It's almost like they've got a forehead like that. Oh gosh. Maybe that works. Give it a giant nose. Honestly, maybe that works. I need a pink color. This is the closest thing I have to pink. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Lamb. Maybe I just don't do the mouth. Now it looks like a dog. Oops. Lost my glasses. Okay, let's take a break on this for a second. Maybe that's the way to do it. Should I move the eye over a bit? That might be the way to do it. Don't know about this nose, though. That might be the way to do it, honestly. But now the head looks too small. It's your game, you could sacrifice a dog. Just kidding, don't do that, yeah. Alright, I think this is probably... probably as good as I'm gonna get. We still have this leg floating around out here. Well, it doesn't really... Did I finally get it? Is this finally looking okay? I kind of almost don't want to change... That looks better. I almost wonder if I should just use the white color still. And then I can shade as necessary here. That looks weird. Doggo, and it's a Labrador. Is the enemy card right? You could try goat, maybe. Is that your nice way of saying it doesn't look like a lamb? Definitely looks like a lamb. Okay. That's good. I think... Oh, what the heck just happened? I still think this leg is just a little bit too thick, maybe? Keep doing that. I think that's good. Did I get it? I think I did it. Give it a red eye. Black eye is probably good. This, oops. Did I do it? Did I do it? I know, I think it looks like a lamb. Okay, good. Longer ears might make it more dog-like. Yeah, I don't want it to be dog-like, that's for sure. One of the lamb's attacks better be 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Oh, no. Yeah, that's funny. Lamb chops. How are we feeling about this? Any other final suggestions? I think it looks like a lamb. Well enough, anyway. I think it looks like a lamb. Just this leg right here is just a little bit weird. I don't know what it is exactly. Oh well, I'll probably tweak it a little bit. Well done. I like it, thank you. Feel the fur needs some texture to show the lamb fur's curliness, but might be limited by the palette. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be possible really to do that. I could add little spots here, but I think that's probably the best I can do. If you think the spots make it look okay, but I'm probably not gonna do that. I don't think I have, I don't have enough room to make texture, and I don't have enough colors to make texture, I don't think. How do you decide what to make just as a placeholder and what to put real time and to make it closer to the final version? Yeah, man, I really don't do like placeholder stuff, really. I know I want a lamb in the game, and what I'll do is I'll give it an initial ability just in accordance with whatever I think sounds good, and then through playtesting is when I will change it if it feels underpowered or overpowered or whatever. It's a small canvas, but it looks close enough. Thank you, yeah. Anyone else see the Shear Me Lamb from Robot Chicken? Okay. So the lamb has been synchronized. All right. Well, I'm not going to get around to adding the functionality for the lamb in this stream because I'm going to end the stream there. I need a break from this. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. I'm glad you were able to be here to watch me struggle through the lamb. So that's it for the stream tonight. So that's the bonus stream. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're interested, again, I've got my Udemy courses available for sale. So you can check those out if you want to support my work and if you want to learn how to build games in the Godot engine. But I'll be back at it. Thank you, Yeet. Thank you. Sorry you just joined, but I'll be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you there. And thank you for all your support. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.